Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX. I am Rishabh Gulati, and yes, all the 90 seats of Haryana are voting as we speak. This morning, the first person to break the shackles as voting happens is Manohar Lal Khattar, now a union minister, former chief minister of Haryana from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Can we try to listen in what's going on there? Well, there you go. He's going there to cast his vote.
सर वर्किंग डे आज लोगों से क्या अपील करेंगे? जल्द से जल्द बाहर निकलें,
जल्दी से जल्दी वोट डालना चाहिए।
भाई नीचे कर ले, मुंह में ना लगा।
सरकारी छुट्टी है, लेकिन सब व्यापार करने वाले लोग, दुकानों वाले लोग अथवा छोटा बड़ा काम करने वाले लोग पहले अपना वोट डालें, उसके बाद
शांति और भाईचारे से चुनाव सभी पार्टियों से अपील करेंगे।
बना रहे। और जहां तक मेरी जानकारी है, प्रशासन के लोगों ने पूरी व्यवस्थाएं की हैं और बिल्कुल पहले की तरह पहले भी हरियाणा में शांतिपूर्वक चुनाव होते हैं, अभी भी शांतिपूर्वक चुनाव हो, ऐसी मेरी
पूर्व पीएम केंद्रीय मंत्री मनोहर लाल खट्टर इस समय अपना
Okay, well, there you have it. Manohar Lal Khattar, the former chief minister of Haryana, currently minister of housing and urban affairs in the union government. He has served as the 10th chief minister of Haryana. He is a member of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and of course he's hoping his party is coming back once again to form the government. Naib Singh Sahni, of course, the current chief minister. Let's pick up this conversation. We are tracking the developments from Kalka, where my colleague Anand is standing by, from Julana, where my colleague Simran is standing by, from Gannor, from Panipat, Gurugram, Faridabad, Sirsa, Karnal and Ladwa. Let's kick this off with Anand this morning. Anand, a big battle going on in the constituency in Kalka. What are the people on the ground saying?
Yeah, look, Rishabh, today in the morning, as soon as the voting started over here in Kalka, you can see the queue over here as it's just 2 or 3 minutes where the polling started, and the people have queued over here. They have come early in the morning at the polling booth, and they have gathered here to exercise their franchise in the assembly elections over here. And we will try to speak to some of the people right at this Nagal Bhaga assembly booth where people are gathered to cast their votes. Sir, आपका नाम?
गुरबचन सिंह जी।
आपके मुद्दे क्या हैं यहाँ के कालका के?
मुद्दे क्या है जी? रोजगार मुद्दे है, और क्या मुद्दा है?
अच्छा, तो क्या लग रहा है 10 साल में अच्छा काम हुआ या नहीं हुआ, और कालका में कितना विकास होना चाहिए था?
हुआ है जी, विकास तो हुआ है, ऐसी बात नहीं।
विकास हुआ है?
विकास हुआ है, काम तो हुए हैं, लेकिन कम हुए, इतना है।
अच्छा,
हाँ जी।
आपका नाम?
पृथ्वी सिंह।
क्या क्या मुद्दे हैं कालका के?
विकास होना चाहिए, रोजगार होना चाहिए, सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा बेरोजगारी है इधर।
अच्छा,
और रोडों की हालत आपको पता ही है,
सड़क खराब है।
हाँ,
और महिला सुरक्षा पे आप लोग का क्या रहते हैं?
वो भी होनी चाहिए।
वो भी होनी चाहिए। आपका नाम?
नीरज कुमार।
नीरज जी, क्या मुद्दे हैं आप लोगों के कालका विधानसभा में?
मुद्दे तो ये है जी, यहाँ बहुत बेरोजगारी है, कहने का मतलब इंडस्ट्री एरिया नहीं है, और रोडों की हालत बहुत ख़राब है।
अच्छा,
हाँ जी।
तो रोजगार का आप लोग मुद्दा उठा रहे हैं, तो क्या लगता है पिछली जो भी सरकारें थी उन लोगों ने काम किया था यहाँ?
रोजगार के लिए तो किया नहीं है। हाँ जी, है ना, यहाँ पे बेरोजगारी ज़्यादा है जी। हाँ, खेत में भी सिंचाई पानी तो लगता नहीं यहाँ। हाँ जी,
किसानों के लिए भी परेशानी है?
परेशानी है, बारिश होगी तो फसल हो जाती है, नहीं है नहीं।
So we will try to speak to some of the women voters over here also, and we'll try to understand what are the issues that they are going to vote for. मैम, आप बात कीजिएगा। क्या मुद्दे हैं इस बार चुनाव में? आप वोट देने आई हैं, तो क्या आपके मन में जहन में चल रहा है कि किन मुद्दों पे वोट देना है?
एक तो जी यहाँ की सड़कें खराब हैं, हमने पहले भी देखा, यहाँ से शुरू हो जाती है खेड़ा वाली से रडू तक खराब है जी सड़क, हमको आने में भी दिक्कत है। और दूसरा रोज़गार नहीं है जी, रोज़गार करके हमको इतनी दूर जाना पड़ता है। हाँ जी।
तो नई सरकार कोई भी बनाता है तो उससे क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन आपकी रहेगी?
हम देख के ही बनाएंगे अब सरकार, तो लोकल बंदे को ही चुनेंगे। हाँ जी।
तो लोकल आप बोल रही हैं, तो क्या यहाँ बाहरी और लोकल की लड़ाई है?
नहीं, ये बात तो नहीं है। जो मतलब कि पहले आए थे, मतलब कि वोट लेने आते हैं, उससे बात कुछ नहीं होता हमारा। अब लोकल को तो हम जहाँ मर्जी पकड़ भी सकते हैं ना। हाँ जी।
आपका नाम?
नीलम नंद।
क्या मुद्दे हैं, क्या मुद्दे हैं यहाँ पे? सो आंटी, आप आई हैं वोट देने के लिए, काफ़ी सुबह सुबह आई हैं, तो क्या मुद्दे हैं यहाँ के?
जी मुद्दे तो बहुत हैं। सबसे पहला मुद्दा पानी का है, दूसरा सड़कों का है, तीसरा हॉस्पिटल का है, चौथा हम ये चाहते हैं कि औरत की एक लेडीज की आवाज़ सुन सकती है, कि और लेडीज़ को पता होता कि ये जो हाउस वाइफ को कितनी की प्रॉब्लम होती है, चाहे घर पे काम की भी, दवाई की भी। वो इसलिए हमें शक्ति रानी को ये सोचते हैं कि अगर उनको हम हमारे राज्य में आ जाए, मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में आ जाए, एमएलए बन जाए, तो शायद हमारी आवाज़ पर मोदी जी के पास पहुँचे और हमारे जो पंचायत के मुद्दे हैं वो हल हो सकें।
So, Rishabh, you heard the voices of the people over here. The woman voter especially said that if a woman MLA is elected from here, then it will be very helpful for the locals so that she can hear the voices of the people that are coming from the ground, and they can even go and raise their issues and problems with them. So,
Yes.
this is what the people over here said, and they also mentioned that the bad roads and the issue of water and especially the issue of unemployment are one of the biggest issues
All right.
in this
Okay.
elections.
Anand, thank
here
you,
in
because
Kalka.
it's very useful to get a dipstick test, because the rest of us are having theoretical conversations in studios. What the pulse is on the ground, trust me, the politicians want to know, the candidates want to know, the political parties, leaders want to know, and you and I also want to know. So now you got a wind of what it is. Take it with a pinch of salt, because in front of a camera people say things, they might vote for a different reason. So we understand that psychology, but on the face of it, on face value, on roads, on hospitals, on water, and on employment, those are the big issues on the minds of voters as they're going to cast their votes in Kalka constituency. Let's hop across to the high profile contest that is taking place in Julana, where, remember, Vinesh Phogat is contesting. I have my colleague Simran Babbar who is standing by. She is in Balali village in Charki Dadri, the hometown of Vinesh Phogat. What's the word on the ground this morning, Simran?
Well, very good morning to you, Rishabh. At this point of time, I'm just standing outside the residence of the Olympic wrestler Vinesh Phogat, and she's expected to come out to cast her vote any moment from now. And as you can see, she is right now presently at the hometown where she has grown up, and with all her family members inside the residence. And there is in fact a lot of excitement even in the village where she has grown up in Charki Dadri. This village, this assembly constituency in fact having two villages in support of it, and it is very important to understand that this is the only place where in 2019 her sister Babita Phogat was defeated, and an independent candidate in fact secured the win. In just moments from now, Vinesh Phogat is expected to go and turn up at the voting station, at the polling booth, which is just meters away from here. But at this morning, it is going to be a very monumental morning for Olympic wrestler Vinesh Phogat, in fact, because she has exuded confidence as far as the people of Julana and her own people in the Charki Dadri are concerned. This seat is also very important in the assembly constituency out of the 90 seats, because this in fact has always held the ground for the issues of wrestlers and for the issue of respect to be given to the wrestlers. And just moments from now, Vinesh Phogat is
Okay,
expected
yeah, show
to
us
come
around, Simran,
and cast
because
his vote.
it's great to hear from you, of course, but we'd like to see the place. I can see a lovely white car waiting, I'm assuming, for either the relatives or indeed Vinesh Phogat herself to go and cast a vote. She'll be emerging from her house very shortly. As she's mentioned, her relatives are there. She's become a high profile contestant there, not only because of her Olympic fame, but what happened in the very recent Olympics. And of course, the big ticket item is, can the Congress party make a dent in what has been a BJP bastion state for 3 terms? Is it the time of Bhupinder Singh Hooda? Last time around, he came close. It was not a BJP majority, but there was enough seats in the margin with Dushyant Chautala that the BJP managed to form a stable government to conclude its term of 5 years. Yes, the chief minister was changed just about a year ago. Does that make a difference? Is it Manohar Lal Khattar's election, or is it indeed Chinese election to win. Local issues on the fray as we are speaking in Haryana, which, remember, votes in one phase. They're all done by this evening. I'll be introducing our guests very, very shortly. Let me just continue touching base with our reporters. Mahinder Mahi is standing by in Morni. Vijay Jasuja is in Sirsa. Vijay, let me come to you. क्या चर्चा चल रही है on the ground? मुद्दे क्या है वोटर्स के लिए?
बिल्कुल, सिरसा जिला की बात की जाए तो मुद्दे काफ़ी हैं, जैसे कि बेरोजगारी यहाँ पूरी तरह से हावी दिखाई देता है। हालांकि जो विपक्षी पार्टी के जो कैंडिडेट हैं वो लगातार विधानसभा में भी और कहीं ना कहीं और दूसरी प्लेटफार्म पर भी सवाल उठाते रहते हैं कि सिरसा में बेरोजगारी का खूब आलम है, जिस वजह से कहीं ना कहीं जो युवा है वो नशे की चपेट में आ जाते हैं, जिस वजह से उनका जो भविष्य है वो अंधकार में देखने को मिलता है। हालांकि यहाँ सिरसा जिला की बात की जाए तो ऐसे बड़े बड़े सूरमा यहाँ सिरसा की धरती पर पैदा हुए जिन्होंने पूरे देश और प्रदेश का प्रतिनिधित्व किया है, लेकिन इंडस्ट्री के नाम पर आज तक कुछ भी यहाँ लोगों को नहीं मिल पाया है, जिस वजह से बेरोजगारी काफी हावी है और नशा काफी हावी है। कुछ लोग हैं, इन पहली बार वोट करके आए हैं, इनसे बातचीत भी करते हैं। सर, क्या कहते हैं कि यहाँ के वोट के आप वोटर्स हैं, क्या मुद्दे हैं आपके?
यहाँ कोई ऐसा कोई खास मुद्दा तो नहीं है, काम डेवलपमेंट अच्छा हुआ है, यहाँ पे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ऐसी। बाकी बुज़ुर्गों को जैसे अब कोई अपाहिज हो जाता है घर पे, उसके लिए वोट देने का कोई प्रावधान नहीं है अगर उसकी उम्र 80 साल से कम है तो। मेरी मिसेस है, वो 3 साल से बेड पे है, उसके लिए कोई प्रोग्राम नहीं है कि हाँ भी उसको अब वोट घर डलवा दिया जाए।
तो ऐसा कोई प्रशासन ने इंतजाम नहीं किया?
प्रशासन ने नहीं किया। मेरे पास BLO आए थे, मैंने उनको भी कहा था, उससे पहले भी मैंने पिछली दफ़ा भी कहा था लोकसभा के इलेक्शन में। वो बेड पे पड़ी हुई है, नहीं चल सकती बेचारी, लैट्रिन बाथरूम बेड पे ही है।
कुछ लोगों से और बातचीत करते हैं। भाई साहब, आप क्या कहेंगे, क्या मुद्दे हैं चुनावी के?
कोई ऐसा कोई इशू है ही नहीं, क्या कहें कि हाँ कि ये है पानी। अपने सड़कों का काम अच्छा हो गया, यहाँ पे वाटर का RO सिस्टम आ रहा है अच्छा। तीसरी जो गैस पाइपलाइन डल रही है अंडरग्राउंड, वो भी सही चल रहा है काम। हाँ, थोड़ा सा काम आचार संहिता के करना पड़ेगा, कह सकते हैं। सीवर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट का रह गया इधर का जो डलनी है, वो भी काम हो जाएगा इस बार अगर सरकार आई तो।
काम हुए?
हाँ जी, हुए।
तो साफ तौर पर लोगों का अपना अलग अलग तर्क है कि कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं कि काम सिरसा के विधायक ने खूब करवाए और कुछ लोगों ने चुनाव आयोग और जिला प्रशासन के इंतजामों की कहीं ना कहीं पोल खोल दी है, क्योंकि प्रशासन और कहीं ना कहीं चुनाव आयोग दावा कर रहा था कि जो दिव्यांग हैं या ओल्ड एज के जो व्यक्ति हैं उनको अपने घर से ही जो है वैन के जरिए ही
Okay, Vijay, stay with me. Very interesting battle happening in Sirsa. Remember, it is the incumbent that they're talking about is Gopal Kanda. Now, Gopal Kanda, fascinating fellow, currently a member of the party called the HLP, which is pretty much his own party. He's up against Gokul Setia. Gokul Setia contested the election as an independent last time, lost by only 600 votes. This time, he is part of the Congress. Last time around, the Congress had a candidate by the name of Haryana who got 10,000 votes. So, Gokul Setia is hoping that the number of votes he gathers is independent. If there are some Congress votes to be had in Sirsa, he should take that constituency from Gopal Kanda of the HLP. The BJP is not here to contest this battle. They are hoping that Gopal Kanda wins and potentially then allies with them at a certain amount of time. Let me hop across to yet another part of the Kalka constituency where we are tracking elections from. You've already spoken to Anand. Let's hop across to Morni where Mahinder Mahi is standing by. Mahinder, this morning क्या चर्चा चल रही है, क्या मुद्दे हैं आज?
मैं कालका के मोरनी क्षेत्र में हूं और ये अभी जो बूथ है यहाँ लोगों का आना जाना शुरू हो चुका, क्योंकि पहाड़ों का ये पूरा क्षेत्र है। अगर हम जब यहाँ से गुजर रहे थे तो हमने देखा जो मोरनी इलाका है ये पूरा पहाड़ों पर बसा है और कुछ लोग हैं, हम उनसे सीधा बात करेंगे। वो वोट डाल के आए। क्या नाम है आपका?
तेजेश्वर भारद्वाज।
क्या मुद्दे रहते आपके जहन में?
किस रिलेटेड आप कह रहे हो? जैसे
सड़क की बात करें, विकास की बात करें, सुरक्षा
के सड़कों का, और हमारे जो इलाका है 14 भोज कोटाहा मोरनी हिल्स, ये एक्चुअली पहले से ही बहुत ज़्यादा पिछड़ा हुआ इलाका रहा है और विकास के तौर पे तो लगभग मतलब यहाँ पे ना के बराबर ही काम हुए हैं लगभग, क्योंकि यहाँ पे कम ही रहता है ध्यान जो भी सरकार आई है अभी तक। तो हमें अब की बार जो भी सरकार बनेगी, जिनको भी हमने वोट दी है, तो उनसे हमें यही उम्मीद है कि भी हमारा जहाँ से पुरजोर सड़कों का भी काम हो और पूरा विकास हो हमारे इलाके का, तो यही कहना चाहूँगा मैं आपको।
तो ऋषभ देखिए, जो वोट डाले जा रहे हैं विकास के नाम पे वोट डाले जा रहे हैं, सड़कों के नाम पे वोट डाले जा रहे हैं, और जो वोटर्स हैं उनसे हम बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे और जानने की कोशिश करेंगे उनके जहन में क्या मुद्दे हैं, क्या इस बार वोट डालना चाहेंगे। क्या नाम है आपका?
प्रिंस अद्दीवाल।
प्रिंस, जहन में क्या मुद्दे आपके, क्या क्या लगता है विकास होना चाहिए? व्यवस्था कैसी है?
ठीक है, बढ़िया।
अच्छा, सड़कें, पानी व्यवस्था?
हाँ, ठीक है।
ठीक है। तो देखिए, क्योंकि ग्रामीण इलाका है, कुछ महिलाएं। मैम, सर वोट डाल चुके आप?
जी जी।
क्या नाम है आपका?
प्रेमचंद भवरा।
क्या जहन में आपके मुद्दे थे?
बेरोजगारी
जी,
मेन तो बेरोजगारी है
जी। और बाकी विकास कार्यों की बात करें?
विकास तो चल ही रहा है, वैसे सभी गवर्नमेंट अपना अपना काम करती है
जी।
यहाँ पर भी विकास हो ही रहा है, लेकिन सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा बेरोजगारी का मुद्दा है।
बेरोजगारी की बात की। मैम, क्या नाम है आपका?
सुनीता रानी।
वोट डाल दिया आपने?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी डाल।
और क्या मुद्दे होने वाले?
मुद्दे यही हैं सर, बेरोजगारी, और अगर बेरोजगार मिलेगा बच्चों को तो वो तो विकास तो अपने आप ही हो जाएगा। इतने पढ़े लिखे बच्चे वैसे ही घूम रहे, किसी को कोई रोजगार नहीं मिल रहा। और इतने पढ़े लिखे बच्चे हैं हमारे, इतने पढ़े लिखे बच्चे हैं, सभी के पढ़े लिखे हैं, लेकिन रोजगार तो किसी को नहीं मिल रहा, ऐसे ही घूम रहे। तो विकास की क्या बात करनी है, अगर रोजगार मिलेगा तो विकास तो अपने आप ही हो जाएगा। बस यही मुद्दे हैं सर हमारे तो।
बिल्कुल। देखिए ऋषभ, जो लोग हैं अपने घरों से निकल रहे हैं, हम भी ये कहेंगे पहले मतदान उसके बाद जलपान, क्योंकि जो मोरनी विधानसभा है ये आप देखेंगे तो क्योंकि पहाड़ों के बीच बसा हुआ है, तो जो लोग हैं थोड़ा लेट निकल रहे हैं और धीरे धीरे लोग आ भी रहे हैं अपने वोट के लिए। कुछ और लोग आ रहे हैं, उनसे हम बातचीत करेंगे कि आखिर उनके क्या मुद्दे होने वाले। राम राम ताऊ।
राम राम जी।
क्या मुद्दे होने वाले?
कस के
वोट डालने वाले हैं
यहाँ पे अलाउड है बताना?
क्या मुद्दे क्या?
नहीं, मुद्दे हमारे कुछ नहीं है, जो वो रहा बढ़िया हो रहा।
अच्छा, बिल्कुल। देखिए, लोग अभी धीरे धीरे अपने घरों से निकल रहे हैं क्योंकि ग्रामीण इलाका है, और जो लोग हैं उनसे बात करेंगे। भाई साहब, क्या नाम है आपका? इधर आइए, इधर आइए। वोट डालने जा रहे हैं, क्या नाम है आपका?
चेतन है।
क्या मुद्दे होने वाले?
मुद्दे तो जी अभी कुछ भी नहीं पता जी इस चीज की।
विकास कार्य, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, कुछ
Okay.
सही चल रहा है अभी तक तो।
All right, Mahindra, we'll come back to you. Lot more shy people there this morning in Morni, which is part of Kalka constituency. Again, a fascinating battle going over there. The incumbent is Pradeep Chaudhary. He won in 2005 as part of the INLD. He had, in fact, he lost in 2005 as part of the INLD. Then once again contested in 2009. He won as part of the INLD. By the time the next elections came across, he lost to Latika Sharma of the BJP in 2014. In 2019, Pradeep Chaudhary had quit the INLD. He was now a congressman and he won, which is the last elections for the Congress by a margin of 6,000 votes. This time around, it's a four-corner contest that is taking place in Kalka, where Pradeep Chaudhary of the Congress, the incumbent, is taking on Shakti Rani Sharma of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Aam Aadmi Party has entered. The JJP, which fielded a candidate last time in the like form of Kiran Chaudhary, has opted out. The BSP had fielded a candidate last time. He won about 2,500 votes. This time, the BSP is also fielding a candidate of Charan Singh. So, of course, the BJP will be hoping that they can upset the Congress after losing by 6,000 votes last time around. I'm going to thank my reporters. We'll be touching base with them through the course of the telecast. Let's open up this conversation. Also joining us this morning, Alok Mehta, Editorial Director of India News. Himanshu Bhatt is with us, and Tanvi Purti joining us this morning as well. Alok ji, very, very interesting battle. You know, the collective conversation seems to be that last time around, we saw an improvement for the Congress, but it was infighting within the Congress senior party ranks that they couldn't figure it out, and Dushyant Chautala had some magic touch and the BJP returned with a coalition government. It was a stable coalition government for the entire period of its tenure. Is this Bhupinder Singh Huda's re-election to lose?
Very good morning, Rishabh ji. I think this is a very, very interesting election because Haryana is a symbol of the corruption and the defection. In the last 10 years, the stability of the government with the Chautala or with the Badawar Lalji, and the main issue was earlier when we were talking about 5 years or 10 years, because and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Manohar Lal, they tried to give a clean administration. But the problem is started here because the local MLAs, the dissatisfaction of the MLAs also affected, and the caste factor. And the Congress party, what they are trying, again, because the Bhupendra Hooda is certainly he's the tallest leader in the state, and he ruled earlier. But the problem was because he was a financer for the party, and that's why he was again the Shelja. So now the woman factor in the Congress party, and the same with the Vinesh, the name of the sport. But the employment problem due to because they don't talk about the industries or business, they just want the employment. Problem, if you remember, Rishabh, in last 10, 20 years, people were selling their land and they have the big tractors or big cars. Even the young people, you have seen when the lady was speaking, she was very influential. But you see, want employment for her son. So I can imagine they want their employment, but because they don't want to go again to the agriculture. And this is also issue in the Kisan, whatever the Prime Minister Narendra Modi or state government are doing for them, 6,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees for a minimum requirement of the small farmers. So this is a very complicated, and that's why the people have to choose. Either they want the corruption, you want just a one party like a Congress party earlier, or the BJP, they tried. I'm not saying that it's a total clean administration there. Maybe at the local level there are problems are there, and especially the development. The expectation with the development and the more economically rich state, they are asking an employment like Bihar and UP. This is the problem of the Haryana, and that's why it will be very interesting, this contest, this election.
It is an interesting contest because remember, a Lok Sabha election has just been concluded hardly 3-4 months ago, and this time it was a different result for the Bharatiya Janata Party. It wasn't 10 out of 10. In fact, it was straight down the middle, 50-50 between the Congress and the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections. Now, does that change the fact on the ground in the assembly elections, where this time the issues of the assembly elections are much different? This does not seem to be coming across as a national leadership battle. This seems to be a local leadership battle. This is about the legacy of Khattar, of Naib Singh Saini versus Bhupender Singh Hooda, and whether Bhupender Singh Hooda and Selja Kumari and others of the Congress in a very rich state that was carved out of Punjab in 1966, whether they can get that equation right this time around. Last time, let's call a spade a spade. The Congress party sabotaged itself. There was infighting between the Hooda camp, between the other camps. Now you can argue whether they've got it right this time around, because remember, people like Kumarji Selja are Congress veterans, people like Bhupender Hooda are Congress veterans. They've been there for a very, very long time. They are not only bringing the recent poll contest, but they are bringing baggage of many, many decades in lots of equations, which also affects the fate of political parties. Let me open this up with Himanshu Bhatt. Himanshu Bhatt, was the wind in the tail in Lok Sabha that told us that the BJP is in trouble in Haryana, or are we all getting it wrong?
No, there was a wind in the tail. See, if you see the results, split down the middle in the form of Lok Sabha seats. But if you see, BJP had won just 43 assembly constituencies at that time. That's one telling factor. And in Haryana, it's a 10 years of anti-incumbency, which is a very, very big factor on the ground. And when you look for the assembly elections, the Haryana is not Gujarat. Let's not compare, apples with oranges. In Haryana, as you said, it's again an economically very, very sound state. But then they are used to a kharchi ki parchi ki sarkar. Now that was the motto some 10 years back. Now Manohar Lal Khattar tried to change it. And as Alokji said, corruption and defection. These are the norms as far as politics are concerned. And when you have a multi-cornered contest, you have at least 33% of the seats today out of 90, where there is going to be tri-corner or more than tri-corner contest. Now in such a case, in an assembly election, When you have this 3-corner, 4-corner contest, if you see, just simply see it by the means of numbers, the win and loss margin is going to be, very, very minimal. 2,000, 4,000, 5,000. If a third and a fourth candidate takes just 20,000 or 10,000 votes, then again you will find the effects of it on ground. Now, is everything all right in both parties? That is what will determine the fate of elections. There is an undercurrent, as you said, there's an undercurrent.
But is there an overall trend here? No, Himanshu ji, is there an overall trend? Because we are seeing Haryana voting, okay, there's an election which is concluding in Jammu and Kashmir, which is done. We'll have results of both on the 8th. Maharashtra is due perhaps as soon as a couple of months from now. Then, of course, we get into the battle in Delhi. Is there an overall national trend, or is it very specific to Haryana? Just stay with me. Naib Singh Sahni is voting this morning. Let's try to listen in what he's saying before he goes to vote. Okay, all right. I mean, he's saying nothing. We will expect him to speak after he has cast his vote. He has a 200-yard, remember, MCC guideline where he can't speak. So we'll listen to him after he's come and cast his vote. Himanshu, but is there an overall arc that is visible here also, or is it very hyper-local?
It is predominantly local, I would say. The local leadership will count there and count on both sides and how Shailaja behaves. Because I am very sure in this 90 seats, in a small state with the 90 seats, when you have a 20% vote share of Dalits, as they say, the caste equation is very, very heavy there. Haryana, traditionally, if you see Jats versus lone Jats, that was the case. People tried to play politics on that. And they are still playing politics on that. Now here again, Bhupender Singh Hooda and Shailaja, are they on the same page? 8th we will know. Exactly.
Okay.
Similarly, BJP.
Yes.
In BJP again, are things okay?
Okay.
Are really things okay?
Okay. So let's cull it out. Okay. Our broader understanding tells you that the answer to Himanshu Bhatt's question 5 years ago was no. Were Bhupinder Singh Hooda and Kumarji Selja on the same page? The answer was no. This time it seems they are closer. So that's point number one. Point number two is, this is not a battle of Narendra Modi versus Rahul Gandhi. Yes. This is more a battle about the Khattar legacy and Bhupinder Singh Hooda, who wants to make a comeback. And he really can taste it, because there are going to be X number of elections he can fight. And he is really hoping to make a comeback this time around. So let me get Tanvi into this. Tanvi, in that context, we are seeing a more local election this time around, perhaps most ever than we've seen in the past 10-12 years, where they've sort of been about national leadership elections. This time it seems more local. Has the Congress got its internal dynamics better sorted this time?
Good morning, Rishabh, and using your platform, I want to tell all my fellow Haryanvis to please go out and vote today. So, answering your question, biggest takeaway from this elections is that, in the last 10 years, BJP was able to manage the numbers that it got was only because of the Modi factor. And before those 10 years, if you ask anybody in Haryana, nobody even knew if BJP had a strong cadre or not. So 10 years down the line, today when we stand, the Modi era where Prime Minister Modi used to help them win state elections, that is over. And my point number two, because the Modi factor is over, now everything, it is localized. So the problem with BJP is that they've not been able to nourish or nurture their state leadership. When Congress lost in the last two elections, at least we all knew who Bhupinder Singh Hooda was, who Kumari Shelja was, who Randeep Surjewala was. Yes, Congress has its own internal conflicts, but at least it had a strong base in Haryana. It had strong leaders in Haryana. Today, BJP cannot even count 5 leaders on its fingers, who they can count on. In fact, CM Saini, even he is not sure he'll be able to win his own seat in Ladwa. So, such is the problem with BJP that, they're not just losing this election, they're losing their base in Haryana, and they'll have to start from the scratch, coming out of this, this problem. And my point number 3, the problem with BJP in this election, if you look at the arithmetics, everybody is saying that there's Jat consolidation and whatnot, and Jat consolidation happened in last election also, but the vote got split between Congress and JJP. And this time, Dushyant Chautala will not even win his own seat. So, so this bears testament
Okay,
to
so,
the
no,
fact
so Jat consolidation you are saying favors Huda?
it will favor Huda, definitely. But what I'm trying to say is that Mr. Dushyant Chautala will not be able to win his own seat of Haryana. In fact, he's coming on number 4 this time.
Okay, so hang on. What are we suggesting here? You are saying if Jat consolidation is favoring Huda, that's exactly what happened last time around. If you were to dissect the election, that's what you would say, that it did favor Bhupinder Singh Huda. But Dushyant Chautala managed to get more than enough seats because the BJP fell short just by 2 or 3 to form a stable government.
Yes.
So why are we saying Dushyant is going to get nothing? He might even lose his own seat. On what basis are we saying that?
Because he's very, very unpopular. People are not happy that, he did not come out during the farmers' protest. He stayed mum during the wrestlers' protest, and he's not been able to, get the work done of the people. So he's not been able to fulfill people's aspirations. So that is why he's very unpopular.
Okay.
And this is what the opposition has been saying. Just give me 10 more seconds. That BJP, it damages the alliance partners, whoever it comes in alliance with. And JJP is over. It's game over for JJP in Haryana.
Okay, all right. So what we are hearing on the ground, that it's about roads, that this is about hospitals, that this is about jobs. Alok Mehta, we've seen a different kind of trend in the Lok Sabha election this time. And the trend has told us that the old mathematics has resurfaced, that it is also about identity. And in Haryana, it is the Jats, it's the upper caste Brahmins, it's the Dalits. These have been factors for a very long period of time. Are they going to be primary factors in this election?
They should be, certainly this time the caste factor, because of Rahul Gandhi and Huda, they are trying this Jat vote concept and all the old traditions. But this is again a problem, because I don't think that because Devilal tradition, you see the Kisan, Chautala, I disagree with our guest here, because you say Chautala, I was very critical about Om Prakash Chautala. But with the BJP, Dushyant Chautala tried his best, and that's why I think that Dushyant Chautala will also damage the Jat votes of the Huda. I'm not calculating the number game, but even then, what I feel, what Himanshuji was also telling, that because in the Shelja, you see, inside you say, okay, they are just with the Rahul Gandhi, both were there in the meeting and all. But with the workers, imagine the workers who were fighting with Ashok Tawar, who joined, it's a world record. Yesterday I tweeted, because you will not see such a person when Ashok Tawar was campaigning for BJP, and second day he joined. But earlier also it happened, but these kind of, on the election meetings, he was criticizing the Congress, and Rahul Gandhi accepted, Congress party accepted him and taking him because they want to counter Shelja also. So the infighting of the Congress party is an unfortunate part. What happened in Rajasthan, because Ashok Gehlot was delivering, but the Sachin Payat...
But Alok ji, are we to assume that the infighting does not take place in the Bharatiya Janata Party? That Manohar Lal Khattar, who was removed, let's face it, it's a promotion, but promotion out of the state. I don't think he was thrilled about the fact that he was asked to no longer continue as Chief Minister of Haryana. Are we assuming that all is well within the BJP as well?
Rishabh, can I take
Okay, hang a second. Vinesh Phogat speaking out this morning. Let's quickly listen into what she's saying. Coming back to both of you. Vinesh Phogat. Can we hear her?
जब मुख्यमंत्री थे हरियाणा के, तो जो हमारा खेल था वो उसका स्तर बहुत अलग था, और आज भी सभी खिलाड़ी ये उम्मीद कर रहे हैं, और हम नहीं चाहते कि हम सिर्फ खिलाड़ियों तक सीमित रहें। हरियाणा में जितने भी वर्ग हैं, हम सबको एक साथ लेके आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं।
नशे को लेकर आपकी क्या रहेगी? क्या आप चाहेंगे कि जुलाना क्षेत्र में यदि कोई नशा करता है तो वो दूर हो? जब
मैं फिर वही बात कर रही हूँ, मैं सिर्फ जुलाना तक सीमित नहीं रहना चाहती हूँ। हम पूरे हरियाणा वासियों के यहाँ पे बात कर रहे हैं, और नशा बहुत बड़ा एक मुद्दा है, बहुत चिंता का विषय है, और हमारे आने वाली जनरेशन को कैसे बचा के रखना है वो हमारा दायित्व है, और उसको हम 5 साल तक अपना दायित्व समझ के दिन रात मेहनत करके उसको निभाएंगे।
क्या हम भावी मंत्री से भी बात कर रहे हैं? क्या आपको ये उम्मीद है क्या इस बात को?
नहीं, ये मेरे हाथ में नहीं है कोई भी चीज़। मेरे हाथ में इतना है, मैंने मेहनत की है, हमें टिकट मिला था, हम लड़ रहे हैं। बाकी जो भी आगे की जो चीज़ें होंगी 5 तारीख के बाद में, वो सबके सामने होंगी। वो मेरा फैसला नहीं होता, वो आला कमान का होता है। चाहे कोई मंत्री है, मुख्यमंत्री है, प्रधानमंत्री, वो पार्टी डिसाइड करती है।
That is, now you can, as you've noticed during the election campaign, You have now a former Olympian who's a hardcore politician. She's become a politician. She's jumped into the fray. Big question, of course, is it going to be a successful stint? I think Vinesh Phogat is here to stay in politics. She seems pretty adamant. We'll let Alok Mehta finish his thought, then Tanvi, then Himanshu ji, I'm coming to you. Alok ji, is there no infighting within the BJP?
Yeah, certainly, because the political party differences. But you see the cadre of the RSS or the BJP is such that even the Anil Vij, you see the big example about it. Even he will not go against the BJP. He will not ask people to don't vote for BJP. These guys, when he says sabotage, even for Congress party, even if Hooda will not say, okay, Shelja, people should not vote for us. But if the workers or the common people, their expectations are very high. Certainly, there is a problem because of the unemployment, the skill development programs, which I have visited few areas. People got the job, but the problem is because if they are not going for agriculture, what Manohar Lal Khattar was also trying this. So really, there is a problem of the differences of opinion and the leadership in the BJP too. But because 9.5 years, the at top level, there is no charge against the Manohar Lal Khattar. Maybe for other bureaucracy or somebody else or some MLAs, corruption charges were there or the defection is also there in the BJP. I'm not defending BJP. That's why there is no...
Okay, you are saying don't rule out the BJP because of their organizational strength. Just period on their organizational strength. Forget who the leader is. Forget the infighting on the basis of organizational strength. And what you've seen in the course of the last 2 minutes is, of course, a major impact that not a very large state like Haryana, with about 2 crore people registered to vote, has. You've just seen Vinesh Phogat, who now well and truly into politics. She's part of the Congress. But you're also seeing another multiple medal winning sports person, Manu Bhakar, there casting her vote as we speak. Okay, Tanvi wanted to make an interjection. Then let's go across to Himanshu ji. Tanvi.
Sir, in this election only, there were news reports, and this is actually practically true also, that Mr. Amit Shah, while allocating tickets in Haryana elections, he did not take opinion of Mr. Khattar. He did not take opinion of the local RSS cadre, and that is why RSS in Haryana, the local cadre is not even conversing for the BJP candidate. Sir, I am from Haryana. I am right here sitting in Karnal, and you can check that RSS Karnal is not conversing for the candidate of BJP in Karnal.
So are we suggesting that they're canvassing for the Congress? Unlikely. Okay, let Himanshu Bhatt come in on this.
Now, let me tell you one thing. We have been talking about both parties in fighting. The Congress supporter says BJP has not done this. BJP says Congress has not done this. Let me tell you one thing. Very, very clearly, after 30 years of experience in journalism, what I've seen is in a state like Haryana, this time around, it's going to be those 33 to 35% seats and the votes which the other parties, apart from Congress and BJP, which will decide the fate of these elections.
Okay, so hold that thought. Let's pick the other parties, because the big entry, Himanshu Bhatt, is the Aam Aadmi Party. They've been eyeing Haryana for a long time. They've been eyeing Haryana since Yogendra Yadav was part of the party. They tried, they failed miserably, but now they are back and they have not allied with the Congress. What kind of percentage vote does the Aam Aadmi Party hope to get, or you think they'll get?
No. See, I'm not talking about only Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party might get 4-5% vote at the most.
More than
4-5% is a chunky chunk.
Sir, Nota will get more votes than Aam Aadmi Party.
In a Vidhan Sabha seat, when you have 100 votes polled, and if 20 to 22 votes are taken away by the third factor, it will play a big role in deciding the results. And the third party, whatever be it, INLD or Aam Aadmi Party or JJP or NLO or whatever it is, or even independents. Haryana has a tradition of electing 8 to 10 independents. And do you think all these independents are really independents from the beginning? They are supported by some party or other.
Obviously.
So once the results
we know how this works. We know that you can't say in Sirsa that Gopal Kanda is fighting for no one and only for himself. That's not been true of the past. Quick interjection. So Tanvi, let's come in. Are we assuming that the Aam Aadmi Party is just jumped in without testing the waters, that they are going to be a miraculous failure? And if they are going to be indeed cutting votes, whether it's 2%, 3%, 5%, 7%, which they could get, who's that damaging?
Rishabh, mark my words, I'll be here on your channel on 8th of October on the counting, and Nota will get more votes than Aam Aadmi Party. They're only eyeing one seat, and last time also same thing happened, and this time also they are nowhere in the picture. JJP is nowhere in the picture. Aam Aadmi Party is nowhere in the picture. Independence, of course, Haryana has a very strong history of selecting independents, and I agree with that. In 5 to 6 seats, definitely independents are winning. And INLD is in a very strong place in 3 to 4 seats. So 5 seats, I'll give it to them also. Apart from that, apart from these 10 seats, they are nowhere in the picture. And this is a bipolar contest between BJP and Congress directly. And let me give you some more arithmetic from the ground, because I'm from Haryana and I've been, doing the ground, talking to people over here. BJP in the Jat land, BJP is not much damaged. Where BJP is losing this time is from the South Haryana and the Ahirwal belt, the Gurgaon Rewari belt, where they had been very, very strong. Gurgaon is going to be the biggest shocker for BJP this time.
Okay, well, after the entire aspect and phase of Gurgaon has changed so dramatically, will it continue to vote or will it be upset about infrastructure and other problems? Okay, so let me flip around the question. Alok Mehta, why would the Aam Aadmi Party want to contest Haryana if the feedback that they have received from the ground suggests that it's not going to go well? Why would they jump into so many seats?
Rishabh ji, remember the Samajwadi Party used to contest from Maharashtra. So Arvind Kejriwal is eyeing for the national leadership. He wants to challenge Rahul Gandhi and Modi both, because he wants to emerge as a national leader. That's why even the 2% vote, 3% vote, at least he will say, okay, I will have a presence in Haryana. This kind of, what he was doing in Gujarat. Ask Himanshu ji. But he got some seats there, even the corporation, then he will say, okay, we have got something in assembly also. So these kind of leadership, that's why the Congress just want to have a hand with the Arvind Kejriwal. And Arvind Kejriwal took Delhi, now in Punjab. And that's why for the long term, you see anybody who work in any field, if we go for long term, I think Arvind Kejriwal, I'm very critical about the Total and Arvind Kejriwal. But they work for the long term. What Devilal did is still their family gaining. Because Indian society is not a Western society. Here are the two parties, Republican and Democrat, or the Labour Party and Conservative Party. Here there are a number of parties. The expectations are very high after the independence. And that's why I am talking about the old traditions also.
Okay.
Tradition was defection.
But
now
you just
people are fed up with the defections.
Okay, all right, but you just heard Tanvi say, and Himanshu, but you just heard us say, it is a bipolar contest. It always has been a bipolar contest in Haryana, okay? But you have mentioned that despite the bipolar contest in Haryana, even in Rajasthan, there are a few smaller parties who are there. INLD, ladies and gentlemen, that would qualify as the regional party. But a few people, contest as independents, backed by one side or the other side. So that culture exists. What is different in Haryana for the Aam Aadmi Party than what's different in Punjab? Because Punjab told us that it was sick of everyone and it voted the Aam Aadmi Party not necessarily for any other reason other than that it was at least a fresh alternative. Why is the Aam Aadmi Party not a fresh alternative in Haryana?
Simple reason. See, there are one or two things. Your personalities do count. You had Bhagwant Mann there to show the face. Here in Haryana, they have nothing. It's only Kejriwal goes and says, मैं Haryana का बेटा हूँ. Now that doesn't work. That doesn't cut ice. Because everybody in the election is a son of Haryana. So that doesn't work there. Another thing, what I feel
I'm sorry to interrupt. Naib Singh Saini is now speaking after voting. Let's quickly listen in. 30 seconds, we'll come back.
मजबूत हो, उसको लेकर के हमने ये विकसित हरियाणा, विकसित भारत और उसको लेकर के हम अपना वोट पोल करें, मेरा यही आग्रह है। और आने वाले समय के अंदर, क्योंकि लगातार जब मैं प्रचार के लिए जा रहा था, पूरे प्रदेश के अंदर घूमा हूं, हरियाणा प्रदेश का एक मूड स्पष्ट नजर आया है कि तीसरी बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बड़े मार्जिन के साथ बन रही है और 8 तारीख को नई सरकार का गठन हो जाएगा। ये हरियाणा के लोगों ने तय कर दिया।
3 महीने आपका समय मेरा काम करने का, 3 महीने आपने अब तो मुख्यमंत्री काम किया, कई योजनाएं शुरू की, तो उन 3 महीनों को आप कैसे देखते हैं और हरियाणा के लोगों पर क्या असर सजा होगा?
नहीं, देखिए, हमारी सरकार ने पिछले 10 वर्षों में डबल इंजन की सरकार ने जबरदस्त काम हरियाणा प्रदेश के अंदर किए हैं। हरियाणा के लोगों के जीवन को सरल सुगम करने का काम, गरीब व्यक्ति को मजबूत करने का काम, किसान को मजबूत करने का काम और हमारी महिलाओं को सशक्त करने का काम, युवाओं में बड़ा विश्वास दिलाने का काम, ये पिछले हमारे 10 वर्षों के कार्यकाल के अंदर हुआ है। और आज वही कारण है कि लोग आंकलन करते हैं, कांग्रेस झूठ की राजनीति करती है, कांग्रेस झांसा झूठ और लूट की राजनीति करती है और हरियाणा के लोग इस बात को समझ चुके हैं। हरियाणा ने यह बड़ा मन बना लिया है, तीसरी बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ऐतिहासिक सरकार बन रही है और हम आदरणीय मोदी जी के साथ मिलकर के हरियाणा प्रदेश का तीव्र गति से विकास करेंगे। इसके लिए हम लगे हैं। मैं पूरे हरियाणा प्रदेश मैं पूरे
दिल की धड़कन बढ़ी है?
कोई दिल की धड़कन नहीं बढ़ी है। हमने काम किया है और काम के बल के ऊपर तीसरी बार सरकार आ रही है। दिल की धड़कन तो कांग्रेस की बढ़ रही है और
बार-बार ये कहा जा रहा है।
वो तो मध्य प्रदेश में भी बोल रहे थे कि हमारी सरकार आपके सामने। मैंने ये बात नहीं कही, आपने दिखाई है चैनलों के ऊपर। उनके बड़े नेता बोलते थे मध्य प्रदेश के अंदर कि हमारी सरकार बन रही है, छत्तीसगढ़ के अंदर बोलते थे एक तरफा सरकार कांग्रेस की आ रही है, ये बोलते थे वो कांग्रेस के लोग। फिर यहाँ बोलने में किसी को पाबंदी नहीं है। हम कह रहे हैं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार तीसरी बार बहुत बड़े मैंडेट के साथ हरियाणा के अंदर आ रही है। ये बड़े विश्वास के साथ ऐतिहासिक सीटें आ रही हैं। कांग्रेस कहीं दिखाई नहीं देगी। बिल्कुल किसानों ने जो हमने फैसले लिए हैं अप्रिशिएट किया है, स्वागत किया हमारे फैसलों का। कांग्रेस को यह नसीहत भी दी है कि आप जहां आपकी सरकारें हैं, चाहे वो हिमाचल प्रदेश के अंदर है, चाहे कर्नाटका में है और चाहे तेलंगाना में है, आप वहां पर किसानों के लिए जो हरियाणा ने उनको एमएसपी देने का काम किया है वो आप वहां भी दें और पंजाब के अंदर भी कहा है कि आप पंजाब में भी दें। परंतु ये बात करते हैं, बात करके लूट खसोट की राजनीति करते हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी मजबूती से तीसरी बार सरकार में आ रही है।
Okay, you heard Naib Singh Saini there. The BJP is a high performance party for the past 10 years. It is very demanding of its politicians, no matter what level they are operating at. A judgment call was taken, and a judgment call was indeed taken. You can argue maybe a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, that there was anti-incumbency, that Khattar had to go. He was left there to contest, won the seat which he wanted to contest, and of course is now in the union cabinet. But the party was reduced to just 5 seats. And 5 seats, ladies and gentlemen, makes a difference in the Lok Sabha. Remember, the BJP fell short of a majority. I'll let Himanshu Bhatt finish his thought before I take a break. Himanshu Bhatt, is this an election about national issues or is it just about Haryana this time? Something is different.
It's about Haryana more than a national issue, because national issues are settled. And even this year itself, people have said, what they wanted to say. But then here in Haryana, the local issues are overriding. Overriding is because, say something that I'll give you a couple of examples of Charkhi. One is Charkhi Dadri, where Vinesh Fogart is contesting. Now that seat, that is in Charkhi Dadri area. Vinesh Fogart is contesting. That seat is never won by Congress. And when Congress allotted this seat to Vinesh Fogart, there were so many murmurs. Why just enter there? Why not a safe seat if she's a star campaigner? My question is that. The second one, when we are talking about Sirsa, even in our conversation, before that, our reporters, when they were talking to people, someone was saying, the issue of drugs. You were asking me, what's different in Punjab and Haryana? I would say, what discourses Haryana is having today, Punjab had 10 years before, or 8 years before. And the result of that drugs, when you said drugs, Punjab culture, while the ascendancy of AAP was very much related with those drug menace. And somewhere down the line, pro-Khalistani elements.
Could there be some undercurrent? I promise you, if Himanshu ji and I knew the exact undercurrent, you would be talking to 2 future chief ministers right here. But I'll leave a quick last word with Tanvi. Tanvi, quick interjection, I need to take a break.
So, my understanding of why Aam Aadmi Party could not, do some wonders like in Punjab and Haryana is because of the existing popularity of the Congress leadership. So, Mr. Hooda is very, very popular. His son Dipinder Hooda is very, very popular. Dipinder Hooda held his own march in Haryana. He travelled entire Haryana for these elections. And then Kumari Shelja, not just in the Dalit pockets, but in other pockets, Sirsa, in various other areas also, she also holds, she has a very, very strong hold. So because of the regional leaders being popular, existing regional leaders, Aam Aadmi Party could not crop up any such leader over here. And I think this election is hyper local. It is based on the local leadership of Haryana. And this election
so
is all about.
it is. The flavor seems to be that this is not about national battles.
Yes.
That this is, and that trend is visible all across the country. You're going to see that trend in Jammu and Kashmir. You're seeing that trend in Maharashtra, which is about to vote in just a couple of months' time. You can see that the entire literally revolution in modern day politics in this country that happened with the entry of Narendra Modi into the national picture in 2012-2013, it is reverting back at the state level to local issues, which means the performance for the BJP of its local leadership is going to matter. The Aam Aadmi Party fought in Punjab and a miracle happened for them. Big state, they won. The people of Punjab told us that they are sick of the other parties, they are sick of the Congress, they are sick of the local regional parties, the SAD and others, and they wanted an alternative, and the alternative was not the BJP, the alternative was the Aam Aadmi Party. But remember, the Aam Aadmi Party is fought in Himachal, it's fought in Goa, where it is not performed to the level that they would have hoped in making a sweeping upset. It's a fascinating battle because politics is evolving. This might not be as much about double engine sarkar as it is about local issues. I take a very short break. We're back on the other side covering live elections.